Can I get a amen? Like praying people clapping in the cabin when the plane lands. Saw him cross the street. What up, Captain? That's my main man.
Want you to keep it tight when you walk in, you walk in. I want you to keep it tight when you're talking to your extra nosy friends. Oh, baby, don't talk about me. Shibby-dibby-did talk goes round and round, round and round. Cheap, cheap talk goes round and round, round and round. Talk goes round and round, round and round. Cheap, cheap talk goes round and round. Shout out to Loose Ends. Boy, people want to talk about the 90s. You only have a frame of reference of what you can talk about if you were cool then or if you were in the know at that time. Otherwise, you just getting passed downs or you were peeking through the door of the culture. But I've been listening to Loose Ends' Look How Long album. Man, that came out January 1st, 1990, as a matter of fact. So they was right on the dook up with that. Right on the dook up. January 1st, 1990, Loose Ends, Look How Long. And that album, man, that album is more 90s than something that would be classically characterized as 90s. So I want y'all to check that out because I was in my zone. Well-dressed, edgy young man at that time. Fly Bennett. Shout out to Loose Ends, wherever they are. Hope they come out with some more. Or maybe they gave us their best. You know, they started in the 80s. They shifted the sound in the 90s. And I can't expect more, you know. You got to enjoy life at the moments when life gives you the moment that is given. And that's just how it is, you know. You can't expect the past to come back. Can you? No. But we all want the past to come back sometimes. Just sometimes for a little staycation. You know, it's kind of like,
Will you come back past?
please. And the past is like, hell nah. Well, I will never come back. And you're like, damn. I thought the past was going to come back just to visit for a moment. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying just for a second. But it's not. It won't. So enjoy now. And does the past still exist? Maybe, but that's something that to be found out on the other side of this life. Or we might be running that parallel universe, but we're not going there right now. Right now, I'm saying in your 3 dimensions of sight, taste, smell, feel, hearing, right now is a heck of a moment. Oh my goodness, right now is something to behold. And when I talk about this, it's like the more I teach them, the dumber I get. One of my good friends, he brought to light this Martin Luther King quote that nothing pains more people more than thinking. And to me, I'm here to fully agree with that. Nothing pains people more than thinking. You know what might hurt people more than thinking? Not thinking. Just letting go. Letting the moment be the moment without your silver haze dripped all on it. Without your rose-tinted glasses tinting up the fog of what the moment is trying to show you. Show us. Because it's not just you, it's me too. I'm guilty. I stand as charged. I stand as charged. I'll be on that too. But I'm going to tell you a little doodiddle that has really helped me get my action together going forward. And so it has something to do with letting go. Let Erica Badu Bag Lady song. It was a little more important than you thought. But right now, welcome to episode 93 of Sorry for My Language. Getting busy, baby. Yeah. Well, one more time. Sometimes I don't let that ride out long enough. Hey, shout out to everybody out there who drinks tea. Like, tea is my new thing. You know, you get a new thing, you want to tell everybody. Yeah, you know, I be drinking tea. You know, I be drinking tea now, you know what I'm saying? This right here is, but tea is really good for you. This ain't no, you know, I brew my tea. But this that I'm drinking right here is, what is it, man? It's some ashwagandha, some nettle leaf, some hawthorn berries, some yarrow, some go-to cola, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of cinnamon. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. I mean, you got to do something to adapt. You're going to need something because these cold weather months and these cold weather months bring make a lot of people susceptible, not because it's a cold temperature, but because they feel down and they get less active and your system is less naturally boosted because you're not moving around as much, you're not getting enough, you know, as much sun. And so it puts you in a position where you're vulnerable to certain things attacking you. And so we got to fight that back. But first of all, before we get out the giznate to Fiznar, I would like to siznay that our spizoncer is the one and only Grindstone Universal. You know it. Yeah, you know it. You know it. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, go to grindstoneuniversal.com and get jazzy. I'm not sure, but we might have some more of these hats. Yeah, this is a Grindstone Universal hat. That's right. And this whole giddy up I got on. Can you see how I'm giving it to him though? Can you see how I moves and I grooves? Hey. Uh-huh. That's right. You got to do something to show it off. I don't feel like standing up because that'll bust the groove. That'll bust the groovature. Shout out to Uptown. I'm wearing my hat like this because I just felt like seeing what Memphis Bleak and Lil Chris or Young Chris got out of wearing their hat barely on their head, and it's kind of giving me like a 1982 feel, you know, like when them players was players and when them D-boys really started getting out there, and it was like, you know, you wear your hat, you might cuff your hat. A lot of y'all don't remember the cuff where you had your crease right there, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all might not remember that, but this is what we're on right now. And it's a really blessed moment Um, I'm going on and on, but right now I just officially completed the 21st day of my fast. So I've officially crossed over the halfway point. And it's big to put this out and just say I'm doing what I'm doing, but whatever, we're in the moment. We love each other, don't we? I'm at the halfway point of a fast that I'm on. So I haven't eaten any food in 21 days. And I feel amazingly magnetic. Let's give it up for the magnetism, please. To be honest, my thoughts are channeling super clear. You know, and I really needed that. I felt I had to let go of a lot of things that I was holding on to. A lot of past thoughts, a lot of past patterns, a lot of social norms that I had. I just felt like it was time to can some of that. We can't go into the next season with some of the accumulation that I brought on and didn't really examine it. You know, one of the things was worrying about stuff. You know, I feel, no, not even I feel, I fully understand that you become what you believe and you believe it a little bit at a time. And the way you know you believe it is how you respect what you do. So you might say, yeah, I believe reading and learning is the way to getting rich. And meanwhile, I want to be rich. All right, now, if you believe that, if you believe either one of those statements, if you believe the I want to be rich statement or reading is the way to get rich, reading more information about various things, and you're not reading, the truth is you don't believe that. You believe something else. Now, what you believe, I don't know, but you respect what you believe and you are obedient to that which you believe. And so I had to examine my behavior in several ways and see what I was actually being obedient to. You know, some stuff, man, I was soul in the hole. Some stuff I was off point. And it's a trip when you're able to check yourself and be like, man, I wasn't really blending in with that the way I thought I was blending in. You know, I wasn't trying to get this hat right. Like when I look, I wanted just teetering on the tippy top of my hairs. Just teetering. Shout out to the teeter. But yeah, you know, I was thinking I want to be in a position where my thoughts and actions match and everything is aligned. You know, so it's just not where my words and my actions match, but I want my thoughts, words, and actions to be like a bullet train to reality and manifestation. But that means that I have to spend time with my thoughts. That means that I can't spend time with other people's thoughts. I can, but not off rip. You know, like when you wake up in the morning and then you do your social media thing, your social media blicky, a lot of the times, not even a lot of times, 100% of the time, if that's how your wake up is, you are commenting, formulating opinions about what other people have done or have thought or have said. Where's your thoughts? In their comment section? In your, ew, I don't like that. That looks funny. Ooh, she's pretty. Like, is that where you exist? No, that's where you exist in reaction to. But where do you exist? That's the question. That's the question of the day. You know, that's the big money question. Like, where do you exist? And I really found myself, I spoke on it before, but actually to the point where I felt my eyes getting weak because I'm up here straining to look at other people's content. And that is cool. It's cool to look at other people's content, but at what cost? And how long you gonna do it? You know what I'm saying? Come on, really? You gonna sacrifice your eyes for reacting off somebody else's brain fart? So, I had to gather myself and understand that, I had to understand something. I had to understand. I had to make a decision. Enough is enough. As I tell myself enough was enough. As I sip my tea. I had to. And I had to decide that I am the archangel, just a civilian in Hades. Only need one befoozel chase 1 million ladies. Living like the revenant, ain't tripping off the president. Definition of insanity, let plebeians do the panicking. Slang for survival, what I mean is verbiage. The way this game can change you may make old friends nervous. Way in my rear view, I was cool with clowns, I'm now coon. Barometric pressure turning boys to buffoons. Ooh. I had to realize that. And I had to break off a song for y'all. Every now and then it'd be like that. You know what I'm saying? But I really had to understand, hold up. I'm a generator. I'm not like a thing that just receives what you say, and I gotta process that all the time. And it's cool, like the back and forth banter is cool, but I just want you to be on your bullet train of thought. I want you to identify with the reason why you were born. But like I said before, and it's not easy. The more I teach you, the dumber I get. But that don't mean I'm gonna give up on you, So this fast really has me electric, right? And for all of you who wonder about fasting in this season, what fasting does, it allows your body to be cleaned out by itself. It lets self-cleaning happen. Now, while I got you here, I do not recommend plain water fasting. Only because I am a fan of nutrients and I'm a fan of rebuilding and helping the body rebuild. So when I fast, what I've been doing the master cleanse. What the master cleanse is, for those who don't know, it's water mixed with pure grade B maple syrup. The grade B is clutch maple syrup. And fresh squeezed lemon juice, sprinkled with cayenne pepper. And you drink about close to a gallon of that every day. And then in addition to that, you drink more water as you're thirsty or whatever. So you drink that every day, and that's the totality of your intake for that day. And so you do that for several days on end. So I'm in the midst of doing the master cleanse mixed with a fresh pressed juice cleanse. So in my 21 days, I did my first 7 days was master cleanse. The next 5 was just all fresh pressed juices and fresh pressed coconut water. And then after that, let me see if it's day 21. I did 7 days master cleanse after that. But then some of those days I didn't have my bottle of stuff with me, so I got a fresh pressed juice and drank fresh pressed juice that day as well. And then right now, I'm about to start either tomorrow or the next day, whenever my juice cleanse is all the way, whenever it's prepared, because I get these people down the street to like prepare hella juices for me. I'm going to do 7 days of fresh pressed juice. So that'll take me into 28 days of no food. And this is my 93rd. Wow, this is dope. Hold up. This is my 93rd day of zero alcohol. Shout out to that. Yeah. And no funny at all. For those of you all who are trying to find a break in the social action, because let's face it, as adults in the city, at least, I don't know what it's like in a rural area, but in the city, if you're hobnobbing around, you could be doing the most positive things for the children. But at the gala, there's alcohol. Meeting up with the people, y'all meet up for drinks. It's alcohol everywhere. And for me, I realized that the cost of drinking alcohol was higher than I desired to pay. The cost on my being. Like, when I drink alcohol, I have an excellent time. Oh, I have a ball. Oh, hooting and hollering. I have a wonderful time when I drink. I'm a lot of fun when I drink too. But it really taxes my time because the following day, I spend half the day trying to get my mental faculties together. Now, I might show up with my body in the place to be the next day, but my mind isn't all the way there. So I'm not even like processing thoughts. I'm not taking advantage of the present time like I should the day after I drink. So this thing, like the evening might start as, let's go to a happy hour, right? All right, cool. What time is it? It's about, I'm just stretching it. It's 7 p.m., whatever, right? Those 7 p.m. drinks turn into 10 p.m. drinks as well. Those drinks turn into me having a brain fog until 2 p.m. the next day. And so the way I want to live my life, the things I want to get out of myself, that shit just don't align. It just doesn't. But it's hard to break the cycle of your social patterns, your friend patterns, the common things that you do. It's just difficult because one thing, everybody cosigns it, right? So even though you see how it makes you feel, you're just like, yeah, but fuck it, keep going. And ultimately it breaks down the soft tissues in your body, so that's the hard price of it. But one of the long-term prices is, it's just, for me, I realized that it was lightweight beating me up. And I was just like, you know what? The corner that I want to turn with hella other things right now, I'm being held back by the way I manage my days the day after I get sloshed. And I'm the type of person, come on, I'm approaching day 22 of a no food fast, right? So if I'm with it, I'm about the action. If I'm not with it, then I'm not really paying attention to it. So if we're going out to drink, we're gonna drink. Like, I don't like to just drink to get bad breath. Now, if we're gonna drink, we drinking until we're jolly, But the problem with that is drinking until you're jolly, it just messes up the next. Like, you might say, for instance, you might have had a list of 5 things you had to do, and you might have wanted to go work out in the morning. Something's not going to get done. And even if you are the super above the influence person and you get your things done, the next time you drink, something's going to suffer. Like, it's going to catch up. It's going to win, right? Outside of the fact that it's putting a pounding on your liver. So anyway, this isn't a Mothers Against Drunk Driving talk, but what it is, it's just like, I wanted to make a change. Outside of that, when I drink, ain't nothing like having a nice late night meal after I had a night of getting busy. And even the healthiest thing I could pick that would satisfy the craving is still something that I would not have consumed at that time if I wasn't drinking. So even then, I'm just putting pressure on my body to perform a task that it otherwise wouldn't be asked to do. So that being said, here I am on day 93, and I don't have no real goal with this. I just want to make a change, you know? And I can say, change made. So another thing that fasting will help you do, well, it has helped me do, it really, because of the fact that I'm not in the bars and the clubs and whatever without a reason to be. Like, I'm not just finding myself in places because it's Thursday. Like, it got to be something that's really calling me to go out there. Then I find other ways to spend my time. And I got a higher value on my time right now. And just kind of like a higher value on myself, to be honest. But it's made it so if I have this time aside to go deal with people or saying I'm gonna link up, fuck with you, I really want to come fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So when we're in each other's presence, I'm really there for that, you know? And if I'm there for that, I do a lot of listening. I'm peeping. I'm peeping everything that we are exchanging. And for me, it makes me have very high quality interactions. So this holiday season, this past Christmas, I went back to visit my family. And when I say family, I mean like my whole root system in California. You know, I saw everybody. And I spent the most quality time that I could possibly spend. It was beautiful. And to me, I don't know how any of y'all feel, but this Christmas was not Christmasing. It was even better. It was even better. It was a moment where we got to get together. I just felt like every interaction I had was so high quality, and it wasn't like jingle belling in the background. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it was, and it wasn't like I didn't really, you know, maybe I was not perceptive, but I didn't really feel people stressing out about how much Christmas shopping they had to run and go do and how much stuff they had to buy. And I didn't, like, not from none of the people I was around, I didn't feel any of that. It was just like Christmas was it was an afterthought. It felt like this was a elevated Thanksgiving, you know, and it was extreme love and appreciation. To be honest, I think 2025 put his loafers in everybody's butt cleavage this year. I think 2025 was rough and tough with the Afro Puffs. And this felt like a break on the sidelines. Like we got to kind of tap out and chill together for a minute, exchange, and just give each other a look in the face like, whoo, that was a ride, wasn't it? Woof. And it was beautiful because after that was done, you know, like the general exhale, it was just beautiful just being in the company of my loved ones. And another thing that also occurred, and I was attentive to this because as I was going to see different people, I just wanted to see. I wanted to see, like, you know, how many interactions am I having where I'm specifically focused on capturing the past, or we're talking about some goals that we might have. Something to feel on our booty too. From the heart. If I was young and rich, I'd marry you, but I'm old and I. Or we're talking about some dreams that we might have, or we're talking about some things that we may have learned. You know, like you could get around certain people and reminisce about the past, and that is totally cool. But then after you've done that twice, it's kind of like, okay, but today is today. And what we on? What you on? How you doing? What you got? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's up? You know, you want to have organic exchange with people to see like who they are, you know, and it's cool to like them for who they were, but your old self like their old self. How does your present self feel about their present self, and how do they feel about you? And are y'all still sharpening each other? And if so, that's love. And then y'all can really talk, you know, and I just feel like that with family um, and friends. And I saw one thing I did see that was really a trip. I saw some of my elders getting older, you know, and just some people who I had never seen show the age. I saw them getting older, and I was like, oh shoot, okay, this is what happens. Like you see it in the kids, you be like, boy, that boy big. You see it in the boys or the girls, you know, and the children, but when you notice it in the elders, you're like, oh shoot, okay, wait, hold on. This mean life is we on that conveyor belt. We on that escalator to the upper room eventually, if everything goes right, you know. But it's just interesting to see how life changes, you know. Um, Most people have experienced some type of urban renewal, and damn, like this text I just got right in this damn moment. Ooh, moment of silence. That's how real it is. Just right now, I just got a text from my mother saying that one of her longtime friends just passed away. Earlier this evening, my mom called me and told me that that friend had a stroke and was left unable to talk after her stroke, and then they had to put her on a feeding tube, and then it was just today they said they were going to take her feeding tube out and you know, see how long it would be. She just passed away. And man, that lady was very nice to me. And I would call it ironic, but it's not irony that I was just talking about I saw age in the elders, some of them for the first time. And there's some parts of the past that we have to understand are indeed the past, and the present is the present. And as one person's role shifts, everybody's role shifts to compensate that. For instance, my mother losing this friend right here, this means that my role has shifted as of now in my mother's life. My mother needs somebody who she could lean on. As I spoke about in my couple shows ago about Coach Beam, um, my high school football coach, who was violently handled and passed away. He has a memorial service, the official one, January 10th. Um, with his absence, several other people have to, well, their perspective is automatically shifted, but then people's role in their life shifts because they're taking over what he was doing for somebody in their family, whether it's inspirationally, financially, whatever it was. So, in being present, we're able to deal with ourselves one moment at a time, and the changes are respecting the objectivity of the moments. And it's like, oh, that just happened. You take that in for all it's worth. Okay, now that means I have to do this. Or now that means I have to sit back and keep doing whatever I was doing. I had to figure some things out. But one of the values of this time of year, and one of the things I appreciate about how I spent it, is that it was not, what I'm saying is not exclusive to perfection. Okay? That's not what this is. But life is actually better and easier to handle when you're able to deal with certain things for what they are and not for everything you put on it. So that means that sometimes you do have to let things go. The trees let their leaves go, and it prepares them to blossom. Several things let go. An eagle, the bald eagle, plucks its own wings, and that allows it to get, because its wings get dirt and silt and dust all over them over the years and years and years of the eagle being alive. The eagle actually gets to get damn near a 50% recharge on its life battery, but it has to pluck its own wings. And then it goes and sequesters itself for a while until pluck its own feathers. And then it goes and bounces out until them feathers grow back. Like, it's on the chill. It's on the low key. It can't come back in public amongst the other eagles until it gets right. So if you're plucking your feathers right now, that's what's up. Overexposure will damn near kill anything. So if you got to pluck your feathers, man, go pluck your feathers. Go drop your leaves. What it will do, it will drop a lot of dirt that's on your feathers that you've been carrying that has prevented you from flying high. That's what it ultimately will do. You won't be able to fly as high as you used to because you're way down. And in your gut, you're way down. In your body, with the stuff you've been intaking, you're way down. When you cleanse, when you fast, it removes your desires from a whole lot of stuff. And it's not easy. But it's guaranteed. You will not ever come out of a fast being like, man, I hated that. I hated how I felt. That's what's not going to happen. Right? It's not easy and it's not immediate. But what I've learned is that fast is slow and smooth is fast. So just take it easy. Just take it easy. And you'll get there quicker than you would if you were trying all this wild stuff. You'd be trying to get there quick. Take it easy. You'll get there fast. Be smooth. You'll get there fast. And the there might just be to the part where you're figuring out your productivity. You're trying to get to your goal. You're figuring out how to get your mind at ease. Sometimes you have to do less. So start with removing something first. It'll help you deal with things. And it's really amazing. And outside of helping you deal with things, it will just enhance your present moment and give you such an appreciation for it. And actually, for me, what it does, it kind of erases my line of judgment between good and bad. It's like things happen. And so I kind of think that things happen for a reason. And some things are objectively destructive. So I'm not blind, but I'm just saying if something happens, I'm like, oh, okay, wow, that happened, damn. Or that happened, cool. But it's not like this is good, this is bad, this is scary. It's just things happen, And within that time, you can edit your life constitution. So the ways that you live and the things that you think you need to be living by, now is a great time to evaluate what you need to be living by and how you need to be doing it. And it's okay if you edit that. It's okay if you edit some people out. It's okay if you edit some people in. I exchange a lot of good information too, like with the people who are actually some of the people who I hold dearest to me. One of the gems I got, and it's not like the first time I heard it, but to actually see it in action, to actually see how it worked for her and to see what it looked like, she does this thing called script writing. Some people might call it mind mapping or whatever. But what it is, you write out in the most general or specific way that you can what you want your life to look like and what you want your next steps to look like getting there and what you want the next things to look like from you along this path. And you write it out like a flow chart. This, then that, and I want this to happen and that. And then you put it up in a visible place. You write the script of your life. You are the director of this. You gotta start the show.
Okay, I have to introduce the whole thing now. This is Grindstone.
But write it. So then when you're just wandering around and stumbling around, you don't forget. And I felt that was like one of the valuable exchanges and times that I had spent with the loved one that I didn't speed up and try to like get to the old familiar, whatever the old familiar is, but I didn't speed that moment up, and I really took that game in. It was a whole lot of stuff, man. My man's taught me, there's a whole lot of stuff that I'm not going to get into now, but I'm just saying, check in with yourself right now. And that will allow you to be an asset to the people around you so much more than you could probably imagine. Because first you're doing the work on yourself. So once you sit in this construction zone of self, the road will get smooth, fast. Because fast is slow. Smooth is fast. So you realize you will shorten the distance between your goals when you make it simpler. And I don't want you to miss it and miss what this time is allowing you to do, But have a ball, go kick it with your people and, whatever they doing, wild and fun or, whatever. It's your turn. But I'm just saying this is some of the things that I've learned. And then in step with keeping things objective for the moment and keeping moments their moments and not carrying them forward, this is something, and I just, just to share how I keep things in their place. Yesterday, this is a little story. Man, yesterday, I don't even know what to call him. So hold up, let me get my mind together and get his name. Let me get his title right, his social title. Yesterday, this dude, I'm not even going to throw his title in there. But yesterday, I'm walking down the street. Let me paint the picture. I'm in Oakland, California. And then I'm about to pack my bags, fly back to the East Coast. But before I did that, I was like, oh, you know what? I need to go down the street. Those of y'all from Oakland, I had to go to Lakeshore, and I had to get a gallon of water. I had to go to this produce store. Shout out to Lakeshore Produce. I love y'all. I had to go get a gallon of water and a fresh squeezed grapefruit juice. So very simple. Go in there, buy it. I walk out. I have a gallon of water I'm carrying like this. I have a grapefruit juice I'm carrying this hand. So none of my hands are free. Not a lot of people are outside. I think the 49ers were on TV. People love the 49ers. So it's not a lot of people in the streets. And it's a Sunday. Whatever. It's kind of cold. People, still eating leftovers. Whatever. So I'm walking down the street with my things in my hand, going back to the car. And then I get to the crosswalk. I'm walking up on the crosswalk. I don't have no earbuds in. I'm not scrolling on my phone. Both my hands are full, so I'm fully alert. I get near the near the stoplight pole that's near the crosswalk. And then behind me, I hear footsteps like somebody's running, right? They're running up on me. And he's wearing like a jacket that's swishing. So it's like, so somebody's sprinting behind me. So I turn around, or like I turn to the side like this, this dude who's running, he's like in full sprint, turns to the side, and when he gets up to me, he was like, and jumped like sideways between me walking and the telephone pole. Right? Now, we're the only ones on the sidewalk. If he's running, he could have ran on this side because it's hella sidewalk, or he could have ran outside the telephone pole if you really got to get there. But he decides to like run between me and the telephone pole to the point he had to like, it was like he was running and then whoosh, right? And so when I heard him coming up, I turned around. And so when he came, my elbow hit him, right? He like ran into my elbow. It wasn't no like, but like he bumped into me. It's a small space he trying to fit through. So he gets past me and then he runs a few steps and turns around and he's like, why you hit me? And I was like, I didn't hit you. The fuck are you talking about? He was like, why? Nah, fuck that. Okay, so the dude was extremely gay, right? To get that out the way. It's a tall gay dude, right? Looked hella disheveled and you could tell it was a crazy person. You could tell he was crazy, right? Why you hit me? Why you hit me? Right? And I was like, motherfucker, I didn't hit you. Go mind your business, nigga. Like, why you jumping all over my back and shit? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, fuck that. Let's get this shit popping here. What you want to do? Right? This is how he comes off, right? And I'm like, damn it. I'm just trying to get like some water and some simple things on a Sunday. And so in my mind, I'm like, I have nothing to prove, and this nigga's crazy. And a wise piece of advice. A person with a family should never fight a person who doesn't have a family. Because they're fighting shit that you can't imagine. That's just a little something to hold. But you always have to defend yourself. But in the beginning, I'm thinking like, okay, this motherfucker's crazy. So 3 minutes later, he's going to forget that this even happened. But he's obviously like, in his, oh, fuck that. Oh, fuck that. And he hella tall, right? So he like, he going, so now he's doing a whole thing and he getting hella loud, right? Fuck that. What's popping? What's pop? He didn't say what's popping, but it was like, he said something like that. He was getting that off. And I was like, listen, man, you ran up on me and you bumped into me. You and me was both there. Go mind your fucking business, right? Because it still ain't sweet. Like you can't, nigga, you fucking crazy. Go mind your fucking business before I kick your can. Flat out. That's how I'm really feeling. But I'm not even feeling malicious or mad or angry. Like I don't have no bad feelings. You're a subtitle to my day. Like, go on. I'm not even, my adrenaline ain't even boosted. So he's going like this and he was like, fuck that. This ain't over till I say it's over. No, because I told him, I was like, man, just go have man, my bad. Happy Sunday. Right? I was thinking like, what do you tell a crazy motherfucker? I was like, man, my bad. Go have a happy Sunday. He was like, no, fuck that. This ain't over till I say it's over. I was like, all right, I'll tell you what. I'm crossing the street right here and you was going that way. Why don't we just keep that up? And he was like, oh, you cross the street where? So after that, I'm like, man, I ain't having, I didn't even say it, but in my mind, I'm like, I ain't having this conversation. We might just have to get our shirts dirty today. We might just have to get our shirts dirty because fuck that. Don't look like he gonna let it go. And I got a rule where if the shit looks serious, I'm not arguing. They're not gonna ask me what happened to me. They're just gonna ask me, why did I do that? That's my rule. So now I'm kind of like, all right, if I get over here to cross the street and this motherfucker's still in my mix, then it's up. So get across the street. It was just a couple people sitting outside enjoying like, little light meals and shit. It wasn't even crowded, but a couple little outdoor seating things. People were sitting outside. So he's hella loud and he's like, all right, well, is this where you want to get it on? Well, let's get it. Let's get it right here. Fuck all that talking. Right? That's what he said. I was like, you know what? Like I couldn't let it go because this motherfucker's following me now. Right? So we're not gonna do the you following me. I'm not giving you my back and I'm not walking backwards. So I'm playing it right here. So I put my shit down. Put my water down, put my juice down over here and stepped away from it. Cause if we getting busy, I'm not gonna trip over it, you know? So I'm thinking up all this shit. I'm sizing this motherfucker up and he's hella erratic. Like he's talking like, So he's like a gangly motherfucker, like, So I'm like, okay, this nigga's taller than me, so I don't want to touch his homeless looking ass, shelter ass, skid row bitch looking crazy ass. But he got the reach on me. So I'm gonna have to close the distance and break his fucking jaw. So I'm thinking like this is what's going to happen now. Because I can't back up anymore. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I put my shit down. And then he was like, yeah, so let's get it popping. Wow. No, it wasn't even like that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, so he's like, yeah, what's popping? I was like, what's up? Let's get it. Fuck that. You got a problem? Handle your business, right? I said something like that. Like, he was acting wild. I was not backing up. Like, it got to the point where it was like, this is where this is going to get settled one of two ways, with words or with blood. There's not a third way. I didn't say that, but this is like what's happening. And I'm on the sidewalk, but he backed up to the street. And then he came up on the street and he's wearing this little jacket. And he put his hand in his pocket, right? So we about to get busy. You supposed to take your jacket off, right? If we gonna fight, you supposed to take your jacket off. No. He put his hand in his pocket. I was like, man, why you got your hand in your pocket? He was like, cause this is what's about to go down. This motherfucker pulled out a knife, right? Fucking decent size, real knife. I was like, you got it? You got it. Today is your day. You got it. And he was like, yeah, thought so. And then the motherfucker walked down the street talking to himself, right? Now, what that moment did to me, it made me feel a few ways, right? But this all goes into don't hold on to shit. The first way it made me feel was consistent with the way I've been feeling about everything. The moment is the moment. The current moment that you exist in is not the past moment. And it's not the future moment. The current moment can determine the future moment, but it's not. What you got right now is what you got right now. So if it's a crazy motherfucker in your face, that motherfucker could change your life. Or you could change your life changing his. Because like, you know, I could have heard him and I being waiting to see a judge. You know, like you don't know. So fortunately, I was able to, fortunately, let's be honest, I was in a fasted state, very clear mentally, and I didn't have no alcohol in me, right? Because alcohol is turning shit up. Fasting, I saw a fool being foolish. But then I also saw a fool being wild enough to harm me. I wasn't going to let that happen, you know, and you always endanger it when you turn your back on something or when you start running or walking away and this motherfucker's charged. Like if somebody got some funk with you, you got to address that shit. You got to address that off top or they'll get bolder, right? So fuck that. Like what is it? If you're going to keep pushing the line, what the fuck is it? You got to at least do that part for minimums. And so, but the problem was, for lack of a better term, you could tell this motherfucker didn't spend time with a family for Christmas. You know, first of all, why are you sprinting down the street and jumping? You know, like, anyway, all that to be said, I let the moment remain in the moment. Now, my ego could have taken this two ways. I could have said, you know what, let me bend this corner. Let me hop in the car and bend this corner and hop out on this motherfucker with something bigger than a knife. That was one way things could have occurred, you know. Shit, there's hella shit bigger than a knife. You know, you got to get up on a nigga for that knife to work, right? I could have done that. I could have felt in my ego some kind of way that his vagrant behavior took advantage of my peaceful moment and took advantage of me trying to be peaceful, and that's not supposed to happen. I would have been basing that on old information, when actually my clear mind allowed the moment to be the moment. A crazy motherfucker gonna do a crazy thing. That's not my life. That's that person's life. And when our lives interact, it's my job to protect my life. But nothing happened. So that motherfucker went on, and I didn't let that be part of. I didn't live with that, like, man, I should have, man, fuck that. Or I also didn't live with it like, oh my God, that shit was crazy. I'm minding my business and a motherfucker pulled a knife on me. Like, it ain't up or down, you know. It's nothing, and nothing happened, you know. So, and then part of me was like, wow, you know, I'm blessed because I could have been in a different state of mind and going forward with changing that tempo, or that motherfucker could have a different type of weapon in his pocket and just been on his dumb shit, right? I mean, I have to go to a funeral in 2 weeks for somebody who was on their dumb shit. So if you keep the moment, and do the practices that are necessary to keep the moment, your life turns out far more emotionally and mentally manageable, and actually physically way more manageable. And so that's what I'm really pushing, man. I just want you all to take this time, and hopefully, like, you know, there's some goals that you've written down. Hopefully there's, you know, you're figuring out your strategy to be the person that you want to be coming up in this year in 2026. And, you know, these days we count down to the new year, they're very important that we just lock in and reread and possibly edit our Constitution, you know, our Constitution of self. But beyond all of that, I really, really appreciate, and I'm lathering up in all the loving exchanges I had that made like the moments of the past week just really, really special and irreplaceable and unique to themselves. Man, Marvin Gaye has a song called Going Home. Look that up. I felt that way. I felt like that visit, it gave me the feels. Like it could have been part of that song's video. And I really appreciate and I love the things that life does. I love the fact that I'm able to slow it down and be objective. I'm really, truly enjoying the fact and grateful for the fact that I'm able to slow myself down through fasting in this particular time. And I am super grateful that y'all are able to catch me in a 21 going on 22 day fasted state, being able to just channel real clearly to you. This is a gift. This is a gem. This is a GEM. You don't always get this. So in your own lives, do the right thing for yourself that will allow yourself to be its optimal self. Everybody got a different path. Everybody got, you know, different internal scrolls. Figure that out for you, right? But you'll know. You'll know. And man, ain't life a trip? In all of its beauty and brilliance, in all of its sorrow, there are moments that glue the whole story together. So don't miss the moments, because the glue is very important. It's part of it. And so here we are. And I would just like to say, To everybody who felt that 2025 was a learning period, to everybody who feels like you had to take a knee in 2025, to everybody who felt like that was your jump off point, I'm gonna tell you you're right on track. But make your next move your best move. Signing off. Sorry for my language.